Most people, the first time they connect to SharePoint, they're doing it as an invitation from their IT people, and they've been given a link in email. If this is the case for you, you simply click on the link, and it takes you to a sign-in screen. Now, I am using SharePoint as a part of Office 365. Yours may say SharePoint up there, but the process is the same. If you've signed in before, you may find your username listed there. Otherwise, just type in your ID and password. If you've ever wondered if you typed that password correctly, just click on the little eyeball over here on the right, and you get a quick peek at your password. If you want to stay signed in, check this box right here and sign in. And now it's taken us to our team site in SharePoint. Notice in the upper right-hand corner that I am logged in as Tipsky Bertelsen. It's important to know that everyone that uses SharePoint has an ID, and with this ID comes different permissions and privileges that you have, things that you can do within the SharePoint system. For example, I'm an owner of this SharePoint site, so I can do pretty much anything I want. But other people might just be designers, where they can change things but they can't create sites. They might be contributors, where they can add documents and pictures but they can't change the look of a site. Or you might just be a reader, where you can go out and look at a site and look at the content but you can't add or subtract from it. And depending on who you are and where you go, you may find that your permissions vary from one site to another. In this case, I'm on the Eureka Project site page, and I'm an administrator, so I have this admin button up here. You probably don't have that when you're logged in. I also have this gear, and you might have that, but if I go into my gear, it says change the look and edit the page, and a lot of people don't have permissions to do that. And down here at the bottom, I have 6 different things that I can do in setting up this site. Well, remember that as we take a look at another user that's signed in. Here we're signed in as Laura Legal, and you'll notice that Laura does not have the admin button up there at the top. If she goes to the gear for site settings, she can't edit the page or change the look of the site. And down here there are 2 things that she has permission to do to this site instead of 6. So as I go through these examples, you may see some buttons up here that you don't have, and that's just because I have more privileges on the sites that I've gone to than you have set up on yours. And usually that's a good thing. It keeps you from pushing buttons and changing things that you really shouldn't be changing. But that's the idea of different users and different permissions that they might have in SharePoint. You can also access SharePoint from a variety of different devices. Here I'm going to it on my Windows 8 system. It also works with earlier versions of Windows. Here we can see that same team site that I accessed from my MacBook Pro, and you can see it looks, feels, and smells the same. I have an iPad here, and you can see that it's got a view of that site. It's a little bit smaller with this screen, but the same functionality that you would expect. And I can access it from my iPhone. Here we have a mobile view of the same site. You can see it's got a list of the announcements up there for our team from that team page and the team documents and tasks. And if I scroll down, you could even see the calendar dates listed in there. And not to leave anyone out, it also works on the Windows phone as well. So the point is, no matter what device you use, it's easy to connect up to SharePoint 2013.